22,000 years, because the guy was saying the Rizians don't die. The school that a new set up, you go to school for 22,000 years. And then if you want to study whatever you study, you go to the basic school so you can learn the basic anatomies of the galaxy and all this for 12 or 13 years. Then you go to another level where you learn whatever mission or job you're gonna be on. You learn that skill, and then for another 10,000 years, right? And then you go into another system. I don't want to be losing people because the time frames is way different, right? And like I said, at this time where we transform into ethereal beings, it's called a bright day, where all three suns shine on the planet at one time.
Do they be outside then?
Yeah, we because I told you how Riz is hologrammic. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of hologrammic theaters and all kind of stuff, man. Like, we can make it look like New York. We can reiterate. If I want to, let's say if I want to, say if I'm on Riz, right? And I say I want to go to New York. I can type New York in the computer and it'll pull up. It'll reiterate the whole city on Riz. On a certain continent, which is a continent, right? See what I'm saying? It's a continent, right? Called a light den. That we call the light den, where you can, on this continent we can hologram whatever we want. I can hologram a whole city if I want. So if I want to go to New York, I can walk down the streets of New York. I can type in the computer New York, and the certain thing will hologram this whole city. The big buildings, the Brooklyn, New York, Harlem, yeah. You know what I'm saying? See if I want to go to Atlanta, right? A certain area of Atlanta, I type that in the computer system, it'll reiterate that hologrammic and make it where you can touch it, feel it, open it up, all that, man. Yeah, that's you can do whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? On the continent that we could go to, but like I say, what happened was these reptilians ended up coming and we let them live on one of our continents called Zero-Two, right? Zero-Two, right? And these beings wanted to take over our planet because they saw how magnificent it was and all these things that were going on, right? And the being name, right? And the being name was Tanush. This being was a humanoid reptilian who was spun off the later creation. They became these humans. They mixed with these reptilians that were created by Mother Hoover. And the whole time, Mother Hoover is the leader and the real Lucifer. Mother Hoover is the real devil. I'm telling you, man. She the one that controlled the Dragos, all them niggas, man. She created them and put them under her spell and her control. I'm telling you. Man, and these beings were sent to end up coming. Eventually, Lu means a destroyer of, right? Lucifer, right, means a destroyer of the circle. The being who was out to break the circle was Mother Hoover, right, deep down inside, because Mother Hoover was the chief science, like we told you, to Asher. Prior to and after we had came out of Pegasus and landed here on the outskirts on the planet you call Saturn, and the other planets out here, which was the older Earth, which was like 4 or 5 times bigger than what Earth is now before the moon got blew off, right, by a crazy fool prior to, right, 66 billion years ago. A being decided to blow, drill down and put plutonium to blow up the planet, because he wanted to take over. So since they wouldn't let him take over, we'll get into that on another story. But we're talking about Project Blue Rock here, because we introducing you to the mathematical skills, and we introducing you to what happened and what went down and why we came here and set up Project Blue Rock, right? Your time is on. They have a place with no time. Time is only a figment of your imagination, right? Yeah, so this is what's go down on Ridge, man, And these beings came here to our planet, right? Tanush and them came to our planet. We let them stay on one of our planets because they were refugees who had claimed to be leaving a dying star, which was Sirius, which they did because they left Sirius C, right, which died out, and Sirius B, who was getting ready to collapse, right? These beings came to Riz, and when they saw how beautiful it was, they wanted to take over. At this time, the being Murdoch, which is called sometime in biblical history, Michael, where you go into the Bible then, and you see in Revelations where we read there was a war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and their angels, right? And his angels, right? That's where you get into Tanush versus the grandson of the Anu, who was president, right? Because the president had a son, but when he came here, so this right, and when they beings came to Riz, aerosol is like the stuff that spray out of us, like I said, like a paint can, spray can. Aerosol is pushed by air. Keeps
They
it.
make tiny.
Yeah, tiny particles. Tiny particles, right? And these tiny particles went into our atmosphere and caused it to deplete. Thus, the three suns that we had, right? Utu, Uptu, and Shemesh, thus started shining through and was messing up with the ultraviolet rays, right? Messing up people, killing people. Millions died, right? Because of this war. And also, other people who were, when the war started, you know what I'm saying? These people, we fought these people, right? Fought them, teeth and nails. A lot of people but you gotta understand, 1/3 joined on with Tanush. 1/3 of the galaxies joined on with Tanush, right?
He the bad guy.
He the bad guy, right? And then another 2/3 joined on with the angel, right? Who you call Michael, which is named Murdoch, right? Murdoch or Yanun, right? In some galaxies he called, right? Yanun, right? This being had 2/3 at the time, right? That took place, right? Because it was a group of beings that existed that didn't get involved, called the neutral beings, right? But so 2/3 of these beings, really, it was Michael took 1/3, and the Lucifer got 1/3, and the other people stood in the middle, right? They were called neutrozoids, right? People who stood in the middle. But Mike understand that Michael was a neutrozoid himself, which is why I knew the president put him in leader of the commanding army, the commander of the army, the captain of his military, right? The angel of the Lord, they call him the angel of the Lord, right? Or in some cases they call him the Lord, right? We'll get into that if you want to do that, right? I'll go back and get that tape, right? Go back and get that tape, right? The Michelangelo thing, and you'll see what we're talking about on that, right? Okay, because like y'all understand, if you study the information, most of the stars, even in the Bible, if you study the Bible at the beginning, right? It says that God created the stars and all this, right? This is, you know that our particular, like this planet that we live on here is relatively one of the oldest planets in the galaxy. And it's been remodeled at least 3 to 4 times by us. And this is part of Project Mother Hoover played like she was creating these beings to counteract as a counteract measure to deal with other beings who were aggressive. But the whole time she was plotting to create these beings to overthrow Anu. Okay, we're gonna get into that though, because that's how they come up with the Dragons, and the Dragons end up going to Riz and causing the war. Because we're gonna get into that. Who lives on the other 18 planets? We're gonna get into that. Who lives on the other 18 planets? Right, in the galaxy Elion, right? Because these were different bloodlines, different families, right? Of Anu, right? The 18s, the 19 bloodlines, right? And the highest bloodline lived on Riz, and the other 18 bloodlines, right, lived on the other planets, right? We'll get into that. because the building of the pyramids is part of Project Blue Rock, right? Because we told you when the plot, we're gonna go into the crash that happened, which caused the planet to wobble, right? If you understand about tires, like we told you in the other tapes, in order you gotta put weights on tires to balance them, and plus these pyramids, like we say, are facing the Orion star constellation, which is a sign contract, right? An agreement of as it is above, so is it below, right? And this is a historical planet because it's what is going on here. What's happening here is a part of his galactic historical events that took place. Not to get off subject on the galactic classes though, but to really create what Apostle say. Oh, well, don't get off subject then. Just stay on subject, right? That's what Apostle say. Don't get off subject. Hey, but the methamphetamines thing is dealing around. Cause for being shot that question out, I gotta put the answer out for you. Alright, yeah. So the methamphetamine part, it depends. Like it's going all the way back to ancient Egypt, dealing around them. The alchemists back then spinning it. See, it depends on the alchemist that spins it. But the reason why they give some beings so much time on have been dealing with this methamphetamines today is because it's making white folks drop dead from smoking it because they got a bad batch. Because it has a whole bunch of cleaning products and all kind of chemicals mixed in together and cooked down to make these crystals, right? But back in Egyptian time, the alchemists back then spun some hot out, spun that dot that they was good top of line alchemists, so they was able to spend some to get to the workers to able to remodel the pyramids overnight. Man, them niggas was remodeling that shit so fast, you know what I'm saying? When they hitting this ice, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, you don't want to deal around with selling it though, because you know when you dealing around selling this shit, like I told you, my cousin Kenny. They just thought he was selling it, and they gave him 15 years. And the feds, he ain't get caught with it or nothing. They just thought he was maybe trying to, or thinking about selling it, and they gave him 15 years. What they gonna give you if they catch you with it? See what I'm saying? But like I say, it goes all the way back. It depends on the chemists, what they call chemists today, which we call alchemists. Back in ancient Egyptian time, these beings used to spin this. You know, it depends on the alchemist that spins it, how good it is, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, the shit they're spinning today, these are people who don't know what the hell they're doing, so they cooking a bad shit and it's killing, dropping the motherfuckers dead, right? And thus you're getting, why they giving you so much time on it, because it's coming out, it's killing their people. And you gotta understand, this galactic war here is on fertility, based on fertility. And they want their people to be the main people in the future, right? But it's not gonna happen, because their time is up. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, meth was created. Like I say, meth, you say you have to be an evil being to create meth, but back in the day, meth was created as a, sort of say like a energy, 5-hour energy shot, for these beings to conduce this particular thing, because like I say, it depends on the alchemist that spins it. The alchemist that's spinning it now is working for the devil, right? But the alchemist, they spinning shit that's killing people.
It's not healing.
Yeah, but like say when the Egyptians. And we don't like to say, a lot of people don't like using the word Egyptian now. They want to talk about chemites or chemites or what we call it Tamaray, right? They want to call it Tamaray or they want to call it the Kemet, right? So we can deal with however you feel, whatever floats your boat, you know what I'm saying? You know. But you know, these being spun this, we had alchemists that were spinning meth in order to build a lot of structures and remodel structures. So that's what the meth thing was all about back in the, thousands of years ago. But now, today, you're dealing with beings who trying to spin it, and they spin it, they don't know what they're doing, and they spinning it, and it's messing folks up, making them burn from the inside out. Yeah, people making beings age rapidly, make you age rapidly, because it's spontaneous combustion that's taking place, right? Simultaneously. On a dog's planet, right? it takes 52 days for their planet to orbit, right, their sun. Thus, 7 years. Thus, the dog aged 7 years from 1 year, right? Because their mathematics is dealing around subtraction, because they're not dealing with a new mathematics. They're dealing with, based off the reptilian mathematics we were given to them by Mother Hoover. They're not dealing with a new mathematics, which is multiplying and add, right? They're dealing around the reptilians style of multiplication, which is subtract and divide, right? And so, you know, they're dealing around a 51 to 52 days. They plan to take the orbit Cyrus B, right? Where these dogs come from, and these dogs are here right now, right? And these dogs are pets, right? To a lot of white folk. White folk love dogs. It said that they kiss them in the mouth, they feed them steak and shrimp, they sit them at the table, they let them smoke, they buy them cigarettes. I mean, white folk go crazy. They buy them clothes. They treat them pretty much like one like a human being, right? And these dogs, like we say, is a conjunction spawned off another spin that were created to deal around with the cats, right? These beings live in Cyrus, and these beings are here as part of Project Blue Rock, right? And these beings go all the way back, like towards the Jackal and Anubis, right? We dealing around this shit, man. We're going back because Anubis wore the mask of a dog, right? And beings might say they was masked, and hey, man, little do you know, right? We ain't gonna get into that because we don't want to mess with you boys. Y'all ain't ready this, but we're gonna walk you down this path of the next level. You know what I'm saying? Get you onto your game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let you know what's going on in the Galactics, man. Right? So these dogs, what do the dogs do to cats down here, baby? They chase them around, but that cat got them claws, and I just seen some cats whoop a dog. You know what I'm saying? Some big now I don't reckon no dog. I don't reckon no dog gonna go jacking around with no lion though. You know what I'm saying? No big, 1,400-pound lion in the jungle. I don't think that's gonna happen. So the dog thing wasn't planned out well when they were trying to go against these cats, and they lost. They lost big time. You know what I'm saying? And these dog beings fought on behalf of Tanush and his gang, right, against Michael and his people. Right, you call him Michael, baby. That's what they call Michael. And his angels fought against the dragon and his angels. Part of the dragon's angels were the dog people who were part of the countermeasure to the cats. Okay? Because they were spun off the cats. Right? That's why the dog chased the cat. Because the dog came out the cat. Right? A part of us, it was like, man, look. Because you gotta understand, we do a lot of crossbreeding. We had genetics where we can crossbreed genetics, crossbreed things, man. Scientists, advanced technology, brother. You know what I'm saying? To introduce you to the dog beings from Cyrus B, right? And that's how they get down. You know how dogs get down, now don't you? Dogs can be your friend. Dogs are really not smart. The dogs in the Galactics are really not smart beings, right? The leaders are not smart beings. The dog beings have the shortest lifespan in the galaxy because they were created about beings who didn't know what the hell they was doing on the crossbreed. There's different type of dogs, right? Dogs that walk upright, right? The dog beings come from Cyrus. These beings were portrayed in the Fifth Element, the movie called Fifth Element, where they showed several different beings in there. One of the blue being who was singing the opera in the Fifth Element is a being that come from a dramatist, right? The advanced beings, right? And we're going in. But the dog beings have their own war clan, have their own leaders, right? Do dogs get to go to heaven? Have you ever heard of that movie? Right? Where's dogs in your heavens right now? And these dogs are doing business. They're not the smartest of the Galactics though. They like the lesser, they more advanced. I mean, they have more advanced weapon systems than the Earth got right now as far as the humans. Because it's beings here now who have higher technology that live here too. They have higher technology than the humans that live here, right? Like in the Bermuda Triangle, which them beings had left. Them beings had left the Bermuda Triangle now and went to their home, which was set up by Anu, called Zados Roticuli, right? The original beings, they because their planet Meldeck was destroyed due to a crash, and we're about to get into that. Their planet was destroyed due to a crash because we told you on Riz, Tanush and his boys, right, came amongst us and they wanted to take over the Riz. So they caused a war, and the war started there, and we fought. And our people who were, like they say, we introduced you to the lion beings, the feline beings. We introduced you to the bird beings. Okay, all these people, we were fighting against these people. Matter of fact, and if you do your, and like people want to know about the Egyptian thing, why you see the beings with that's birds, right? Because these beings are descendants of these beings. When you see the bird being, like the being Yanun, right? The bird being, the being that's Thor or Tahuti or whatever, right? These beings are offsprings of these beings, because if you go back, it was a being, the Reptilians. Once the Reptilians were drafted out of the bird beings by Mother Huber, then later on down the line, the bird beings crossbreeded with these reptilian beings, thus creating you another type of being. Another type of reptilian being, right? And this reptilian being would now be, all right, let me give you an example. All right, take an anaconda and cross it with a bird. What you're gonna get is an anaconda with the wings, right? So you get a flying serpent, what you call them a dragon now, right? Because the dragons are like big long snakes with wings that fly, right? So that's what happened when the birds crossbreeded back with the reptilians. So now these reptilians got wings, okay? And these beings were living here on this planet. These were the beings that were living here on this planet. And if you go back, these beings were more frequent. The leader of these beings, he's the leader of the military, because there was the military clan. The leader of these beings' name was Kobazar, right? They call him Kobazar. His name is Tubazar, right? And what does Bazar mean, baby?
It means something that's
freaky,
weird,
right? And Tubazar, that means this nigga is too bizarre. It's more than he extra. But it's bizarre. Why? Because this being 18-foot serpent who got legs and arms like a human legs and human arms. He had wings. He have a 30-foot wingspan, and this being have a human face with his face. His color is like a cloud white. He all like a cloud color white. Yeah, I'm talking about some freaky shit. Too bizarre. If you see this shit, it'll fuck you up. Like you come in contact with this being here,
it's hard. You gonna be, man. You probably you'll turn into stone. You literally have a heart attack by seeing this being. This being, he got sharp teeth. He got he got a humanoid looking face though.
Petrified.
Yeah, you'll be terrified. Like,
That's called petrified.
then you go into shock. You go into shock if you see this being. Like, he got a humanoid face, right? And his eye, he got a black eyeliner. So the beings you see that's in the rock and roll business, they got these, they paint their face white and put the black eyeliner, or they just put the black eyeliner. These beings worship this being named Tupac, right? Who was the commander of Tanush. Well, he was like when they started the war and broke off, Tanush became like the head commander. What they call Supreme Chancellor of the Old Republic. Supreme Chancellor, right? And so he set up his own military. He became the most high of that particular. He claimed himself to be the most high of the Republic.
Equivalent to the devil.
He was with the old devil. In the Bible, they talked about he fought against the old serpent. That's what Tanush, the father of Halah, which we'll get into later, who we fighting against now. Okay, so we're going back. Okay, when Tanush set up the old republic, when he broke off and set up the old republic, he was called the Supreme Chancellor, which was like the highest being, but he still answered to another being secretly, Mother Hooper. Mother Hooper was the CEO. See, like, the president is not the owner. He's just a nigga that they hire in position to run their organization, right? Called the United States, which is a corporation. Right? The United States is a corporation. But when the Mother Hoover assigned this nigga Tanush took over, okay, as the Supreme Chancellor, and then he assigned his head captain, who was a nigga named Tupac, who was a crossbreed between some bird beings and serpent beings. And I tell you, this being, I'm telling you, like, and bazaar can also mean a place where, like a mall, where you go to, where people shop at, like a bazaar, the Big T bazaar. You got bazaars. Talked about the Taurus star system. The beings that you see here, the sheep, the goats, all these beings were the original beings adapted from these beings, because I told you that the centaurs, the people they call the centaurians, mixed with the centaur people, mixed with these people who were bull people. See, these people weren't human, had bull at first.
What?
Yeah, a being crossbreeding these beings like that. See, at first it was just in the Taurus star system, it was just these beings.
That's what the white man trying to redo.
The white man doing it right now at Los Alamos, the base Los Alamos, in Dulce Air Force Base. Yeah, they crossbreed. Yeah, I talked about that on the cloning tape. Go back and get the cloning tape. Right, I talked about how they were crossbreeding the animals with the humans. Like, we've been doing, like, this right here been going on Galactic though. Like I said, but the beings you call them the lamb and the arcs and all these beings existed, and then at a point in time, another group of beings who were called the Centaurians mixed with these beings, creating another type of being, right, called a centaur, which is a half man, half horse, or half lamb, half man. The first. Are you talking about on the planet Earth? Somebody in reference to the planet Earth, who was the first humans? Adam and Eve wasn't the first humans. Adam and Eve was after, because you gotta understand, like I said, the planet was remodeled due to a lot of accidents that's happened 3 and 4 times.
The Big Bang and all these.
Okay.
He still
The first human.
dirt and made a man again.
No, it ain't simple as going to the dirt and just taking the dirt. These beings had laboratories, like on Mars. These beings set and they took DNA. These beings were way more advanced than you can. What you talking about is when you talk about you want to understand who can understand the mind of God. Let's get into that, because we dealing now we know who can understand the mind of God. We can talk to Him and He'll tell you. But okay, I understand that man, the shell that's here is a genetic engineered shell by these beings who way more advanced than you want to know. Like what you call God. They mind is out of there.